What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Happy Easter. It was a fun whirlwind of a weekend for me. My daughter's first birthday party, and Easter, just getting ready for everything. But yeah, welcome, guys. Good to see everybody on this Sunday, April 21st, right? Yeah, 21st. So welcome, guys. Yeah, what's new? So I'm going to EA Play. June 5th, I think. That's when I head out there. I believe it starts on June 6th. I am super excited. I've declined invitations for a few invitations over the past year that my daughter's been born. And I finally said yes to one, and I am super excited. EA, I'm a game changer, as some of you know. But I haven't really done anything with the game changers in 2 years, since before Battlefront 2 came out. Just because, you know, baby stuff and pregnancy stuff and all sorts of stuff. But I'm ready to take advantage and play some motherfucking games. What's going on, everybody? The Bacons, Bubble Wrap, Jeff, Ross Forrest, JP Riley, Rob TV, Liam O, Laser Chain, Nelly, yeah. What's up, Liam O? Hey, about to go to sleep, so can't stay. Hope your daughter had a good birthday. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Had some family come over, had some friends come over. Yeah, it was a good time. The weather was perfect. It was like 71 degrees. Absolutely perfect. Sunny. Perfect. But get some sleep, man. Least favorite Star Wars character, mine's Dookie. Dookie? I don't know. I don't really have a least favorite Star Wars character, to tell you the truth. There's characters that, you know, I don't really care for, that I don't really understand the appeal of. I mean, the more I watch the Clone Wars, the more I understand why people like a lot of these characters that kind of fell flat for me in the prequels. You know what I mean? I mean, I've talked about that ad nauseum for the past 8 goddamn years. But yeah, I don't know. Watch Egg Dog vids for Easter. What's Egg Dog? What's Egg Dog? Boom. 1 year already since her birth. Wow, that's crazy, man. Time flies. Yeah, it's insane. I never understood the phrase "time flies," or the notion that time goes fast until I became a dad. You know. Oh.
How long do you think an episode of Mandalorian should be? What do you look forward most in it?
There you go, Sapity. I love this shit. Sapity, dude, thank you so much for the super generous super chat tonight. I greatly appreciate that, man. It's always good to see you on these evenings in the old United States. I'm drinking just your run-of-the-mill Miller Lite right now. Sapity, thank you so much once again, man. Happy Easter, HG. Hope your daughter had a good B-Day. How long do you think an episode of The Mandalorian will be, / should be? What do you look forward to most and least in it? Keep up the force. Keep up the force. Nice. So, I think The Mandalorian, I want it to be like 10 episodes long, right? I want it to be a short and sweet season. Like, you know, you think of even this newest Game of Thrones season is short. It's what, like 8 episodes? I think that's perfect, right? When you have kind of now if your show, if you have awesome writers and things are still concise, yet there's 20 episodes in your season and it's still engaging, okay, cool. But for the most part, that is definitely a rarity, right? Shows that kind of have like 20 episodes per season, 30 episodes per season, they're for the most part network TV shows, but they always feel like they have a lot of filler, and they always feel like it's just Lost is probably one of the best examples of that. So either like 8 to 10 episodes would be perfect for Mandalorian. Short and sweet, concise, focused storytelling that doesn't feel like, you know, it's losing its way. And I think with these streaming services, that's probably one of the biggest and best things, is that narratively they can really kind of condense these stories, and it's not the advertising model, right? So Lost, for example, I don't know why I always go to Lost. It's just the best example in my opinion. You have like, what, 22, 25 episodes a season, and it was, I can't remember the exact quote, but I remember one of the creators or maybe one of the writers or something talking about his time on Lost and how it was a constant pressure from the network to just add more episodes because you gotta please the advertisers. So just, hey, pump out a bunch of shit. And I kind of like the streaming services. They have the ability to kind of keep things focused, short and sweet. So yeah, Sapity, 8 to 10 episodes, 1 hour long, I think would just be the sweet spot, I think that would be the sweet spot. And what am I looking forward to the most? Probably, let me see. Probably, man, more so than anything, probably just the overall vibe of the show. When obviously we haven't seen a high resolution version of the kind of the sneak peek sizzle reel that they showed at Celebration. We've seen kind of like bootleg footage of it, but that footage just gives me such a I can almost hear that rattle sound when a dust bowl rolls across the plain and two gunslingers are standing across from each other in the those old westerns, like that, like a rattlesnake sound. You know what I'm talking about, right? But I don't even know what they call that, but if you've seen a western, you've probably heard something like that. It just gives me that saloon vibe, and I think that's probably more so than anything, just the vibe of the show is what I'm looking forward to the most. Sure, the characters, sure, learning about all the situation, but to me, that's just the overall. One of the things I'm really also excited to see is the remnants of the Empire, and see if a lot of kind of like the Nazis did back in the day, they were ran away to South America to avoid their crimes. A lot of them did, a shitload of them did, and I'm guessing a lot of Imperial officers maybe retreated and ran away to the Outer Rim to kind of hide out and avoid the punishment of their crimes. I want to see that, I want to see that. But yeah, Sapity. I'm not really looking. There's nothing in particular that I'm looking forward to the least. Before the panel, I was pretty excited, but after the panel, just Filoni's and Favreau's enthusiasm really pumped me up. They did a really good job, kind of hyping the show up. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Aiden, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Hi, Greedo. Like you, I love storytelling, but lately I have been feeling kind of creatively bankrupt and overwhelmed with it all. Any tips to help? Well, it's oh man. It's probably not advice that anybody would want to hear, but whenever I feel burned out, or whenever I feel like I've kind of exhausted what I want to talk about on certain subjects, or I'm just not feeling it, right? I just won't put out a video. I will just completely abandon the channel for a couple days. And streaming is a different animal, Aiden. So when I'm creating videos, there's the writing process, all that, the editing process, but it's something that I want to talk about. And if I'm not feeling it, then I go hands off. And being creatively bankrupt is a really interesting funk to get into. It's not, it's not anything negative. It's just kind of, it's a completely natural, kind of thing that I think everybody falls into, unless you're just pumping out 10 videos a day and saying, who gives a fuck? This is not a creative endeavor. I'm just turning on my webcam and talking. Then they probably don't get creatively bankrupt, right? But if you put some effort into your scripts, and if you talk about things that are interesting to you, and you want to put an interesting spin on it, it's very easy to kind of fall into a funk and have writer's block, as they say, and get a little I don't know, burned out. And really, man, the only thing that ever cures that for me is a completely hands-off approach. Like, if I ever feel like I am creatively bankrupt or burned out or not feeling it, I will not force it. I will not force it. Like, you know, I just uploaded a Clone Wars video, for example. I had watched that episode 2.5 weeks ago. I wrote the script, and it was just sitting there, and I was just every day, you know, well, then new Star Wars stuff started coming out, the trailer, the Jedi Fallen Order, a bunch of information that I wanted to talk about topically. And then over the past week, I just didn't feel like making that Clone Wars video, so I didn't force it. As soon as this starts to become, like, starts to feel like a drag, oh, one sec, let me let my cat in. Come on in. Come on. Very good. It's okay. All right. Yeah, as soon as this all starts to feel kind of, you know, repetitive, or I'm not feeling it, I don't push myself. I do not want this kind of fun thing that I have to feel like a burden. Does that make sense? So I'll go a couple days, I'll go a week even, and just be a little hands off. And streaming, like I said, is different, because that's just kind of shooting the shit with you guys, and it's fun, you know. I hope I helped you out there, Aiden. I think, yeah, like I said, for me at least, the kind of hands-off approach, the break, really helps. And go for a jog. Some of my favorite, like, parody videos and stuff like that have come about when I've been on walks, just daydreaming or going on jogs. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that, man. And Connor Johnson. There's a guy named Eric Butts who was. Let me take a quick sip of beer as I read this. Connor Johnson says, there's a guy named Eric Butts who was incessantly harassed after posting an emotional reaction video to the recent Star Wars trailer. Heard of him? Yeah, it was maybe 2 days ago that I actually saw the reaction video that he recorded, that everybody was like reposting and stuff like that. when I watched it and I was watching it, you know, and I was like, I mean, there's a ton of reaction videos online, right? And I was watching it, and when he said, no fucking way, a grin went on my face, and I was like, all right, man. All right. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it's a shame that, I mean, they're shitheads, right? They're shitheads in real life, and those shitheads are even shittier heads on the internet, because, you know, some people, when there's a keyboard and a screen, they don't humanize the other person, right? It's just an easy target. Everybody's a target for some people. And some people are just fucking gross, man. Some people are just gross. And I think, yeah, I hope he's doing okay. I haven't really looked him up or anything. I'm sure he's got so much support. I saw Mark Hamill talking about the situation as well. But, you know, I think the best attitude to have towards kind of people that are shitty is just kind of a fuck you attitude, you know? And I hope he has that attitude towards all those people that are kind of making fun of him and stuff like that. Just like okay, fuck off. Just, I know that's easier said than done, letting stuff roll off your back, especially when, you know, it's such a huge, seemingly big thing that, you know, everybody in the Star Wars fandom, at least online, seems to know about. But yeah, it's a bummer. But hey, you kind of get to see who, how do I put it? It's nice to see the assholes and be able to see that there are assholes. Does that make sense? I don't like when assholes are hiding. I like when assholes are right out in front and speaking in a way that makes them shine, that you go, oh, that's an asshole. That's a scary. That's why, like, the censorship, a lot of censorship stuff scares me, because if somebody is a complete shithead or some sociopath or with violent tendencies or something like that, why would I want that squelched on the platform? I want that to be visible so I can see it. You know what I mean? Like, when it lurks in the dark and it's suppressed, that's what's scary to me. Does that make sense? I'm going off a tangent here. But anyway, Connor, I appreciate that channel support. And I'm sure, I'm sure he's got a huge backing. Oh, Star Wars Theory made a video about him. Nice. Yeah. He makes a video about everything. Sometimes I see, like, topics, and I'm like, oh, that'd be, oh, neat. And I don't even think to make a video about it. You know, there's so much stuff that happens in Star Wars and the fan base and stuff like that. I read it on my phone, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Oh, that's neat. And I don't even think to make a video about it. It's crazy. Hello Greedo has gone live. Nice. That's a very, very late notification. Cameron David, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Savage actually impaled Addy with his head horns. Oh, that's what he did? Oh, okay. I actually didn't, is the whole fucking comment section filled with that? It is goddamn hilarious, Cameron. Whenever, like, the most subtle thing, I said that Savage speared Addy. And apparently, he impaled Addy with his head horns. Oh, is my cat one out now? Hold on. Weird. No, but I appreciate that, Cameron. I don't remember seeing that, but I'm sure that was the case. I just remember, like, seeing it and then pausing it and writing about it and going like, wow, that was brutal. That was probably one of the more brutal kills. Because, you know, lightsabers, blasters, relatively quick, right? But that shoulder, that I guess horns was super brutal. Yeah, I appreciate that, Cameron. Savage is such a Savage. What's up, Makatsi? Good to see you, man. Who's your favorite Star Wars YouTuber? Sid Ray. You know, I don't really have a favorite. To tell you the truth, I haven't really kept up with a lot of people's videos in a long time. I don't really watch much YouTube other than, like, when I feed my daughter some, like, her lunch or something like that, or a bottle of milk. That's when I watch YouTube. And for the most part, it's usually maybe some news clips or some podcast clips. Vice does a good job of, like, on location interesting stories. I like that kind of stuff. Or like Red Letter Media, the latest Red Letter Media updates, you know. Yeah, I don't have a favorite. I definitely don't have a favorite. What are you doing, kitty cat? What? You can come up. You can come up. Come on. No? All right. Let me take a quick sip. Joe Rogan podcast video clips. Not usually, Brian. Sometimes. I usually listen to those in its entirety on my phone. Well, jump up. Jump up. Jump up, dummy. Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. Jump up, kitty cat. Don't just sit there meowing at me. There we go. Carter Lovejoy, everyone. What you, quote-unquote, fans are doing is evil. Toxic fans. From our point of view, what Disney is doing is evil. Hashtag Disney shill at heart. Clark, thanks, man. That's basically everyone. What you fans are doing is evil. Quote-unquote fans. Toxic fans. From our point of view, what Disney is doing is evil. How is Disney doing is evil? It's fun, right? I don't know. Carter, I think that's why, like, I'm pretty hands off on, like, social media and stuff like that. Like on personal social media, I'm completely hands off. I'll, like, log into my Facebook and I'll have messages and notifications and friend requests. I, like, looked at my friend requests for the first time in years, and I had friend requests from 4 years ago, and I was like, I just don't have a desire. It's too intrusive. But yeah, even like Hello Greedo social media on Twitter, you know, I'll post maybe once a day, and for the most part, it's usually notifying you about a video or a stream, and maybe the occasional post. But I've, in terms of like the fandom and kind of like seeing people sparring back and forth, zero fucking desire. It's just a bunch of people trying to convince a bunch of people, and nobody's ever going to be convinced. And for the most part, like, you know, sometimes there's great conversations and people are level-headed, but hey, it's the internet, right? And you can't read a tone or intent in text. And I think everybody thinks that everybody else comes off as an asshole, and then they double down, and they ultimately sound like an asshole as well, and it eventually just turns into an asshole party where all the balloons are shaped like assholes, and all the, you know, all the straws are asshole straws, and everybody's just drinking from an asshole. That's basically what Twitter is. But I appreciate it, Carter. And Clark Herman, thank you so much, man. What scenes from which movies or shows have ever freaked you out? Ooh. One for me is the pawn shop scene in Pulp Fiction. Let me take a quick sip. Oh, man. Alright. What scene from which movie or shows have ever freaked you out? Ooh. God damn it, let me let my cat out. In and out, in and out, in and out. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Alright. You know, man, I think sometimes I can't really think of a good example. But for me, like growing up and watching the first Halloween movie, you know, what usually freaks me out in shows and stuff like that, it's not like the hack and slash butcher horror movies. It's stuff like odd looking things that are subtly off, you know what I mean? Or creepy moments where somebody's watching somebody from afar, like when Michael Myers is watching Laurie Strode, right, from afar in the first Halloween movie, and she's walking down the sidewalk, and she glances over and it's gone. Like moments like that, kind of like the is somebody watching me? Is somebody, you know what I mean? Is somebody outside the window? Those kind of moments. In particular, a certain scene or a certain moment. Man. Or well, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something like that, where, yeah, nothing's really. I wouldn't call it freaking me out. I don't really get necessarily freaked out. It's more of an uneasy, like almost less than human feeling. Does that make sense? Where you feel icky. You feel like you need to take a shower. And movies like Gummo. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Gummo. I guess Clark, it would be considered maybe a entirely freak out movie where after you watch it, you feel like you need to take a shower. I remember, I believe me and my friend were still in high school. I might have been 18. He might have been 19. He might have been already graduated. But we always used to rent movies and watch them together. He's, you know, he was in my wedding. We're one of my best friends. And we've always liked watching movies together and that kind of stuff. And we might have been 18, 19, and we went to Hollywood Video and rented Gummo. Neither of us really knew much about it. We knew, I think we knew of Kids, the movie Kids, same guy. I think Kids came out before it. I'm pretty sure it did. So and then we watched a movie called Elephant. So Gummo is just basically about a trash town that got destroyed by a tornado years ago, and it is just people living in squalor, and it's makes you just feel disgusting. And if you should watch it because it's just filthy. It's just that kind of stuff, yeah. So Gummo, and yeah, and then there's a movie called Elephant, and it's about it's creepy because it's a school shooting movie, and it is just played so straight, and it is such a creepy movie. Yeah, it's on the same lines as Gummo, and the just kind of like, I need to take a shower. This is a disgusting movie. The people in this film are disgusting. They live like pigs. You know what I mean? But yeah, those kind of movies are the ones that I guess would freak me out. I know I'm answering this. It's a long answer, Clark, but I'm just, occasionally Gummo pops into my head. And I have to talk about Gummo because it's fucking disgusting. So literally, like right now, go ahead and pause the stream. Watch the Gummo trailer. Like seriously, go look up the Gummo, Gummo, Gummo. It's gross. May the goo be with you. Hey, Greedo, just wanted to stop in and say hi. Now back to blasting some John Williams and doing homework. Nice, man. That sounds... I never listened to John Williams whenever I've written videos or done anything like that. I've never even thought to do that. I usually listen to like kind of ambient, spacey, environmental music. I've never thought to listen to like John Williams or orchestra music before. I bet that would be pretty good. Kind of nice cadence to it, you know. One thing I can't do is listen to music with lyrics or podcasts and stuff like that when I'm working on anything. But yeah, get back to it. Get back to the homework, baby. Goo be with you. I appreciate that, man. And Stephen Meyer, love your channel. Keep up the great work. Hope you'll do a KOTOR 2, the Sith Lords live stream someday. Very underrated. I appreciate that, man. I still need to beat KOTOR 1. Oh, one sec. Back, thanks, man. And Clark, once again, thank you guys so much. Give me one sec. Take a quick sip. All right. Oh, nice. All right, Steven. Yeah, Steven. I eventually I'll probably play KOTOR 2. It's gonna be a long time. I still need to beat KOTOR 1. I think it's been a couple weeks, I think, since I've played KOTOR. And the reason behind that was because, I was out of town for a bit, and then what was it? Well, basically my daughter's party. We had a shitload of house repairs done on the house. I was replacing like rotting wood all around the house. We repainted the house, and I just was not feeling it. And then this weekend, my daughter's birthday party, and just like basically the past 2 or 3 weeks have been super hectic and busy. And whenever I felt like streaming, I didn't even want to play a game. I just wanted to literally sit down and do this. That being said, I need to finish KOTOR. I need to play it. It's a fun game. And I wish I had like more than just an hour to play it at a time, because it's a game that definitely requires a lot more attention than just an hour. And I feel like whenever I start playing it, I forget how to play it, and it takes me like 15 minutes to get the swing of it again, you know what I mean? But, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Steven. And Beck, thank you so much as well. Bonus super chat for owning a cat. Also, what editing software do you use for your videos? Well, we did have 2 cats, and then, as most of you know, my wife's mother passed away, and we took in her cat, her cat is just the sweetest, like, to the point of annoyance, like, she is always on your lap, always. So we have 3 cats in a very, very small home with a baby. It's cramped, and I'm ready to get out of the house. And what video editing software do you use for your videos? I use After Effects. And whenever I tell anybody that, they're very surprised to hear that, because it's kind of overkill for, most people I think use Premiere, or some kind of more linear, editing software. But I've always used After Effects. It's the first thing that I grew up learning. I used it a lot when I was down in Orlando for college for a year before I dropped out and enlisted. And After Effects is just kind of what I've always known, that's about it. But yeah, not But, you know, you don't really need to. Some people just use their phone. And, you know, there's editing software on your phone. And I've never used it. But some people make entire YouTube channels from the little device in their pocket, which is crazy, you know. But, yeah. But I appreciate that, Beck. And Clark Herman, once again, thank you so much. The intro to Tales of the Crypt freaked me out when I was a kid, and it turned me off to the show for years, but now I want to start checking it out. I remember Tales from the Crypt. I remember, well, let me look, what year would this have been? Tales from the Crypt. So final episode was 96. Okay, that makes complete sense. I was living in Georgia, and I was probably 8, 9, 10, probably in that range, probably closer to 10, probably 10, 11. My buddy was a year older than me, and we would watch Tales from the Crypt at like late at night, and it was kind of freaky, but you know, we got it. We liked movies. We never freaked out when we watched the alien burst out of John Hurt's chest in Alien. You know, we understood that things were shows, and you know, we never were freaked out, but we watched that quite a bit. This is the same friend. Let me look up what year this would have been. First episode of South Park. I remember 1997. I remember the first time. Me and my friend, his name's Alex. He doesn't know about this channel. I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen him. I mean, I haven't seen him in, I don't even know. I'm 32 now, maybe 20 years. But we've messaged over the years a couple times. But I spent the night at his house, and it was 1997, and South Park. We didn't know anything about it. They like Comedy Central would play some, advertisements about the show, and we knew it was going to be raunchy and stuff like that. But we watched it the first night that it aired, and you know, it was we were kids. I was 11 years old in 1997, and we were kids, and it was funny as shit. But yeah. Clark. Well, speaking of shows like Tales from the Crypt and stuff like that, there was an episode of, and this kind of goes to that whole Halloween Michael Myers standing away watching Laurie Strode thing. There was an episode of, what is that show called? The Midnight Society. What was that show called? I'm not gonna Google it. I'm gonna think of what it's called. God damn it. Somebody's gonna pop it in the chat before I can think of it, right? Alone in the Dark. Thank you, Net Alliance. I appreciate that, man. What year would have that been? Oh, no, not Alone in the Dark. No, that's not what it's called. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark? Alone in the Dark was a video game. Are You Afraid of the Dark? There was an episode, so that started in 1990. Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, if you grew up when I grew up, we all watched these shows, right? Like, Hey Dude, it's a little wild and a little strange to make a home out on the range. Salute Your Shorts, all that stupid shit. Awesome shit. But there was an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark that had a very similar vibe, like is somebody watching me. And this girl's somebody died, and they were like haunting this girl, and she kept seeing like a figure in her room and at the staircase. That kind of stuff creeped me out as a kid, you know, just weird, just like lurking in the dark, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate that, Clark. And the Geek Talk Society, what's up, Coach? I'm a film analyst. Hashtag film analyst. This film didn't even quantify a viewing. It didn't even deserve my viewership. I have exquisite film taste. Oh, I love film. I have exquisite taste in film. I'm a film analyst on the YouTube. I'm going to break down and give my breakdown of the film. This is my hot take. This is my film analyst review. Listen to me, I must talk for hours about the film. I'm a film analyst on YouTube. Jesus Christ. What's up, Geek Talk? Good to see you, man. Did that really sound like Alan Rickman? That was an impression of no one, by the way. That was just me being snotty. Night of Sean, good to see you, man. I saw some pictures that Brandon posted. Was it this morning or yesterday? I can't remember. Hey HG, still recovering from my Star Wars Celebration experience. Yeah, I'm sure it was a complete whirlwind. Do you guys ever feel like kind of shitty after you travel? Just kind of like blah, worn out. Just kind of like blah. I don't know. But it's worth it, right? Right, Sean? It's worth it. I didn't realize that you guys got so many pictures with so many people. That's crazy. I'm curious how the pricing on that works. Do you pay? You don't pay individually, right? You kind of pull your money together and you all stand in front of the celebrity, correct? Or yeah, neither. Yeah, I don't know how to put it, but yeah. I was trying to think. I was looking through Brandon's pictures, seeing you guys standing with a bunch of people, actors and whatnot. Just mind-blowing, man. Mind-blowing. That's going to be a memory that you guys just, look back on fondly. Yeah. Maybe you guys will go do it again in Anaheim for sure. But I appreciate that, Sean. Who do you think will have the last words of the Skywalker trilogy, Joshua? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm guessing. I'm gonna call it. Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. I'm guessing it's gonna be Leia. I'm guessing it's gonna be Leia. That's my guess. Leia's gonna survive the trilogy. Leia's gonna survive the saga. Leia's gonna have the last word. That's my guess. That's my guess. What do you guys think? We'll see. Greedo, have you watched any of the new Twilight Zone? I saw the first 2 episodes yesterday, and I thought it was a pretty decent start. Not the best, but not bad. Nope, I haven't. I really, really want to. When did that teaser? Was it during the Super Bowl? I know it started already, but I saw the teaser and I was like, oh man, they're making fun. So I watched quite a bit of kind of the original run, growing up, here and there. But no, I haven't watched it yet. The first episode's called The Comedian, right? So, and I think the first episode is free on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I saw that the other day when I was scrolling through videos. I was surprised to see that the first episode was free. Unless somebody just uploaded it and bootlegged it. I don't know. But I think it was free. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Sapity, C-3PO, he said the first word back in 1997. He must say the last. Yeah. What does OFC stand for? I've seen people type that before. OFC stands for of course. Interesting. I don't think I never knew what that stood for. Interesting. I'm basically grandpa. You kids and your internet. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Oh, man. The Comedian is free on YouTube. A way to try and get people hooked, I suppose. It's well worth a watch, in my opinion. Nice. Yeah. I'll eventually watch it. I'll probably end up watching it like one day when I feed my daughter. And that's really the only time I watch anything, you know. And I know it's an hour long, I believe. So she eats in like 15 minutes. So maybe I'll start and then I'll just have it playing while I'm playing with her on the floor. But we'll see. Or I don't know if my wife would be into watching it. She probably would. Yeah, she probably would. We gotta watch Game of Thrones tonight. Oh, 41 minutes? Okay, nice. When my daughter was really young, like 3, 4, 5, even 6 months, it would take her like 45 minutes to eat a bottle, to complete a bottle. So I would be sitting on the couch for 45 minutes, and I watched so much Star Trek. I watched so much Star Trek, man. Like, once a day, I would just watch a Star Trek episode while I was feeding her a bottle. And since then, I haven't watched an episode of The Next Generation. Like, since she was maybe 6 months old, I haven't watched an episode because of that, because she's just sucking them down so quick now. Just make the bottle, she's done in 10-15 minutes. Oh, yeah. Greedo, you may have answered this already elsewhere, but what are your thoughts on their killing off Kylo? Will it happen, or is he destined for redemption? SXE Blues. No, I personally don't want... well, I have to be careful when I say want, right? It's not like I'm married to these like wants or ideas that I think have to happen or need to happen in the film. I don't have any of those feelings. All I want is a fun movie with twists and turns. But I personally don't need a Kylo Ren redemption, and I kind of don't want a Kylo Ren redemption. I kind of want to see him crash and burn. He's been given so many chances. And I'd be very surprised if there was a redemption. Now, I understand people would say, what would be the point of any of this then? But I don't need it. I don't need it. Some people don't change. Maybe that's the point, right? Some people don't change. You can give people a million chances to turn around, to act right, to be nice. Hold out your hand and try to do things for them, and sometimes they will always turn their back on you. And hey, that's a moral of the story too, right? Not everybody needs redemption. Yeah.
Here's to the bank holiday. Here's to the bank. Is that an American thing? Is that an American thing? Or just a good one anyway? Have a good one anyway.
Stevie Caldwell. I don't know why the robot is not acknowledging Ian Fox, Clark Herman. There we go.
What are the worst sports injuries you have ever seen? What are the worst sports injuries you have ever seen? Was Clint Malard the worst one I've ever seen?
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
When he got his throat slashed by another player's skate.
Ian Fox says traitor. Because Star Trek? Oh, dude, I love Star Trek. I love The Next Generation, man. It's what, I mean, it's the future. It's just such a hopeful future, too. The older I've gotten. Well, I was going to say the older I've gotten, the more pessimistic I've become, but I don't necessarily think that's true. Especially since I've had a kid. I've always been a pretty optimistic person, but yeah. And Star Trek just ups that optimism, man. Ups that optimism. And I love me some Star Trek, Ian. If Star Trek if Star Wars or Star Trek got to me before Star Wars when I was a kid, I'd probably have a Hello Picard channel. I like it. I love it. And Stevie Caldwell, dude, here's to the bank holiday. Is that an American thing or just UK? Have a good one. Anyway, bank holiday. No, I don't think I've ever heard bank holiday. A day on which banks are officially closed, observed as a public holiday. Well, is that America? I don't think we've ever really called them that, have we? 2019 Federal Reserve Bank and American National bank holiday schedule. I mean, there are holidays that the banks observe, and I guess that is kind of a way to judge. But they're all federal holidays. So, yeah. I don't think that's definitely not a common phrase or a common saying or a way we talk about our days off for holidays or vacations or anything like that. But yeah. So today is a bank holiday? Bank holiday. It's just a long weekend, Red Bull Racer? Okay. Is Good Friday 2019 a bank holiday? So, a bank holiday is just basically a federal holiday or a day that the banks observe as a day off, I guess. Interesting. I don't know shit about this. I feel like this is probably common knowledge to a lot of you people. But I don't know shit. But I appreciate that, Stevie. Thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoyed your bank holiday. Is it still going on? Maybe. Or maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's tomorrow. Clark Herman. What are the worst sports injuries you have ever seen? The worst one I've ever seen was Clint. I don't know if I know how to pronounce that. Malarchuk? When he got his throat slashed by another player's skate. I have seen footage of that. It's brutal. I think it looks worse than it is, right? But the way he like takes off his helmet, his mask, and it's just like gushing. Actually, I shouldn't speak out of turn. I don't know if it was worse than it. If it just looked worse. Let's see. Let's see. Gun incident? I'm looking at his Wikipedia. Minor pro career. Neck injury. There's imagine being just known for that shit. He was able to leave his ice on his venous system. Many spectators were physically sickened by the sight. The excessive amount of blood that he lost caused 11 fans to faint, 2 more to have a heart attack, and 3 players to vomit on the ice. Local television cameras covering the game cut away from the sight of his bleeding after noticing what happened, and Sabres announcers Ted Darling and blah 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 were audibly shaken. He lost 1.5 liters of blood, 300 stitches to close the 6-inch wound. He was back on the ice in 10 days. So, Interesting. Yeah, if you guys, I mean, it's a very easy video to find. I don't want to play it here, obviously, but Clint, well, you could just hockey accident skate Clint, and you could probably, a video will come up. But yeah, the worst one that I've ever seen, I don't know. Okay, so there was one that, well, you talk about freaking out, Clark. There was a video a long time ago, and it might have been a college football video. Let's see. Football. Let's see. Oh, hit out of control. There was a video. God, what was it? Sorry, guys. There was like a, I don't even know what to look up. There was a football, an American football video a long time ago where I don't want to make sound like I'm making this up, but I want to find the video. But there was a collision, right? And the guy that got hit, it was like his body was moving on its own. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. He got hit and his head kind of like was back, and it's almost like this guy he wasn't there. He had no control over his body, but his body kept running and like kind of like rolling, and I don't know how to describe it. It was like a malfunction. It was like a short circuit. So he was hit, and then all the lights went out, but his body, his mechanical body, everything just kept going through the motions. It was weird. It was kind of like a freak out moment while I was watching it. I wish I could find it. Maybe I don't. But I don't go out of my way to watch that shit, Clark. Whenever they show that kind of stuff, like the replays on TV after like horrible accidents or like even basketball players coming down from a rebound or something like that, and they land funny on their ankles or their knees. I mean, just like, ugh, you feel like your stomach just goes up into you. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Blech. Blech. But yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that, Clark. Bleh. Raptark, let's see if I can still deceive the bot. Oh, did you? I didn't even hear it. Did you? Let me see if I can replay it. Shit. Did the robot say it? Did I talk? Oh, I turned the text to chat off. Sorry, man. I forgot I did that. I turned the text to chat off because yeah, I turned it off because the other night when I did a stream for the Rise of Skywalker trailer, I was getting so many super chats that I couldn't speak over the robot who was talking. You know, it was just a constant flow of robot talking, so I had to turn off the text to chat because I couldn't answer anything, and I forgot to turn that back on. So I apologize, Raptark, but I will read it for you. How about that? Let's see if I can deceive the bot. Fuck. There you go, man. No bot needed. I'll say it. How about that? But I appreciate that support, man. I need to turn that back on for sure. All right. I'm pretty pumped for Game of Thrones. I'm pretty cynical about Game of Thrones, though. My wife was like, "You're actually excited?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm more excited than I thought I was gonna be." But yeah. Let's see. Stevie Caldwell, if you could turn any Star Wars video game into a film, what would it be? Ooh, interesting. Oh man, any video game into a film, what would it be? Golly. Sorry, I'm really racking my brain here. I'm trying, my default answer is probably Shadows of the Empire. But because it is kind of like a dingy, seedy, it's not all Jedi and any of that kind of stuff. It's what I like about Star Wars, it's bounty hunters, smugglers, all that kind of stuff. Golly. Who said that? Red Bull Racer said The Force Unleashed. I think the Force Unleashed has I like the beginning aspect of it. I like the option. You can. I think you can kill the Emperor. I did not do that. You can kind of rewrite history in a way. I think that's kind of neat. I love the beginning of the Force Unleashed when Vader sees this boy. Everybody's dead around him, and he's about to strike him down, and notices that he kind of has these powers. Takes him under his wing. I think from that aspect, that would actually make a pretty good movie. Kind of an apprentice by, I don't know, luck, really, just dumb luck, I guess. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Force Unleashed probably would work really well. They would definitely have to expand on the story, though, right? Because, I mean, let's face it. The Force Unleashed is pretty light, right? It's pretty light. It's basically just like button mash, run around, shoot lightning, throw shit, and hack and slash. The beginning story aspect is pretty cool, though. I will say that. But I'm gonna go Shadows of the Empire just because I grew up with it, and why not? I appreciate that, Stevie. And Fofo the Jedi, who would win? Attack of the Clones, Anakin versus TLJ Kylo. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna say Kylo. Kylo was just brutal. Kylo was just like, well, I'm just purely looking at the visuals and the fighting styles, and like Kylo, he looks. Adam Driver is probably the best actor that Star Wars, other than like Alec Guinness, stuff like, you know. But Kylo, Adam Driver is certainly one of the best actors that Star Wars has ever had. I love watching him fight. There's this undeniable physicality to it. He is way more fun to watch fight. Way more fun to watch fight on his facial expressions, his body language, everything, than Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones. Who would win? I don't know. I'm sure there's some... I don't know. I'm going to go with Kylo just because I like watching him fight more. Like I said, there's a physicality. He makes it look real. He makes things look weighted and heavy. And it's just a blast to watch, you know. A blast to watch. But I rarely do any of those kind of hypotheticals. I just, you know, who would win in a fight, Superman or Batman? I don't know. Superman, duh. I don't know. But yeah. I love Kylo. He's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars ever. Just an interesting villain. You know. But yeah. I appreciate that, Fofo. Raptark, last super chat, and then I have to hop off. Are Star Wars mercenaries in general realistic? Like soldiers for hire? Is that what you're talking about? In particular? I mean... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say so. Maybe not particularly individuals, like it's kind of present in Star Wars. You know, I don't know if you would necessarily hire an individual. Maybe, well, I guess you would, right? I guess people hire hitmen in more seedy locations on the planet and cities, and they just, I can't even imagine. I guess people hire people for dastardly things, right? So yeah, I would say it's the hired guns are certainly realistic, especially, you know, in war zones. I mean, look, the United States of America even had hired guns for a while. Blackwater, they were completely hired guns. They operated outside of the conventions of the United States. They were a hired force. They were contractors with guns. They were mercenaries. So yeah, they're certainly realistic. And I think more so than individuals, it's probably organizations that are hired, right? But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I appreciate that, Raptark. They're definitely not fictional. They're there for a reason. But thanks, man. All right, guys, I got to get going. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for a little over an hour today. Busy weekend. Had, my daughter's birthday party, Easter. Bunch of shit going on. Trying to stay on top of channel stuff. But yeah. All right, guys, I got a couple videos planned for... I wrote a script about how I like Rey is a nobody. It's sure to sure to be a fun one. Then I wrote a script about George Lucas's idea for a sequel trilogy, and I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. And then I'm working on a Phantom Menace video in the style of that Empire Strikes Back review video that I did a couple weeks ago. Or it was like exactly 1 week ago, I think. Anyway. Alright. Yeah. I appreciate everybody hanging out, and I will talk to you later. Let me run down the list. Raptar, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Fofo the Jedi, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Stevie Caldwell, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Clark Herman, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Ian Fox, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Night of Sean, thank you for the super chat and channel support. The Geek Talk Society, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Beck, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Stephen Meyer, thank you for the super chat and channel support. May the goo be with you, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Carter Lovejoy, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Cameron David, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Connor Johnson, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Aiden, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And Sapity, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Alright guys, I will probably see you tomorrow for a stream. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll definitely see you on Tuesday. But alright guys, hope you had a fun weekend, and I will talk to you later. See ya!